Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. I am the Black Dove Oracle, and welcome to another podcast recording. This recording is a channeled message on what happens when you walk away. I did a shorter version of this on my TikTok, and people are resonating. And sometimes you do have to walk away. Some of us, we find that as we tap deeper into our own personal growth, maybe even our spirituality, we realize we just don't have time for the lower energies. Even though those lower energies are definitely a part of our world, how we want to manage our nervous system, how we want to live this life, more and more of us are realizing you don't have to stay with these energies. If they're disruptive to your inner peace, if they're disruptive to your journey, maybe your success, you can leave. You can leave. Nothing is written in stone. Nothing. So we're going to find out from Spirit just what happens when you walk away. Because some of you have walked away. And we have 4 groups here. It is a collective channeled message. Only take what resonates, my honeys. And yeah, these recordings will be happening for the next week and a half because I'm in the middle of moving, you all, the whole packing thing. If you do want a personal reading, however, I will be opening those up again after in probably the first week of October. So my website, if you want to take a look at that, www.blackdoveoracle.com, it will let you know the type of readings, personal readings that I do offer. And I want to thank everyone that has gotten a personal reading from you. I have some people that's gotten 2 already, so I really do appreciate it. Hans, if you are a continued subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I really think that you're hanging in there with me. This is a brand new channel. It takes a moment for it to grow, but I really appreciate your comments, your likes, just the things that you're sharing. So thank you so much. If you're brand new here, my name is Kamara. I am a psychic medium. My channel Spirit, my ancestors, and the ancient Divine Sibyls, the original oracles of this world. So I want you to know these channel messages, although some of them are humorous, some of them can be quite serious, they are channeled with care and they are given with care. So my honeys, if you want to reach out to me, say you want to collab or have a business opportunity, my email is blackdovedreamer@gmail.com. And lastly, my honeys, if you can, in any shape, form, or fashion, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate your help in growing this brand new channel. I really do. Thanks so much. If you want to connect with me on TikTok, I'm rooted_futures on TikTok. Okay. So my honeys, let's get down to group number 1. I don't know how long these are going to be. They're probably going to be a little short and sweet. But we are going to ask a little bit about the theme of what you had to walk away from. And Spirit had me grab this deck, Tales from the Heart Oracle. So this one might be relationship oriented, I think. This is a kind of a relationship deck. Whatever it was, group number 1, that you had to walk away from, you are getting the last laugh. Wow. We just starting off powerfully. Ooh, and then we got the aftermath card with the middle finger showing, not only are you getting the last laugh, but you are telling them where the F to go. Wow. One more card, Spirit says. Yeah, you had to walk away from something that was highly actual. I mean, you may not be happy about that because there was a lot of pleasure in this relationship. But I think you had to walk away from even that aspect. Maybe that was something that kept you around for a while, group number 1. But Spirit is saying, what happened? Yeah, shenanigans. You might have been dealing with someone who quite literally thought they could play you. And this is interesting because 5 of Swords is coming out here. They weren't able to, but this is someone that was quite confident that they could. But you got justice. Justice was always going to be yours. This was an upside down Knight of Swords, meaning this was somebody who, all in all, I'm going to say this because it's you, group number 1. I'm going to say it. They weren't the most intelligent person. They weren't the most, how do I want to say, thoughtful chap or thoughtful energy, because we don't want to put gender on it. But this was somebody that you really were physically attracted to. But you always kind of did note in the back of your mind, maybe group number 1, that this wasn't someone who was an intellectual match for you, which was maybe something that made it even more irritating, frustrating, that this person tried to lie to you, try to get over on you. Yeah, I think this is about them saying that a person from their past was just a person of the past, when that person from the past was quite literally a person they were still with, still fooling around with. Spirit is saying for some of you, very specific, this person could have had like a baby's mama or baby's daddy that they were still sleeping with, that they were still having romantic relations with. And they might have been telling you different. Very interesting. Yeah, and it's interesting now because you do not want anything that they're giving, not anything. And really, I think that group number 1, you walked away from a person who maybe in their mind, they know they're not that intelligent, but they know they're good looking. They know that they can kind of lay it on people in a way that they become obsessive. Maybe this person's experienced that before, people being actually obsessive with them. But when they tried that with you, even though you might, I'm going to be honest with you, group number 1, you probably were like, oh, this is really nice. But it wasn't the energy of compelling you. It wasn't something that you were obsessing about. It wasn't devil energy. So when this person kind of, because eventually people do reveal themselves, I think you were like, no, hun, this is, Spirit said to look at the bottom of the deck. There was a 9 of Swords. Maybe there was a brief moment there where you're like, damn, why this? But I think in the end, you quickly recovered, group number 1, because you were like, no, I'm my own wish fulfillment. There's nothing this person could give me that I couldn't give myself. I couldn't find again for myself. So that's what you had to walk away from. Really. That's what you had to walk away from, group number 1. So what happens when you walk away? Because something does happen when you walk away, group number one. And I think you walked away a little bit angry at this one. Yeah. Ooh. I don't even know why Spirit showed that. Okay. We're grown-ups here. But when you walk away, group number one, I think this person is going to have some performance issues. Yeah. Knight of Wands in reverse. There's something about the way that you walked away from them that's different from other people. The way you walked away from this person, group number one, it left them with doubts. It left them feeling a little inadequate. And I think that got in their head because Spirit is showing they when you walk away from them, group number one, they're going to have performance issues. Yeah. And also there's something about their personality that's going to shift. They're going to become very arrogant, very overcompensating with other parts of their personality. But unfortunately, there's, as we stated before, there's not much they could do in those areas because I don't think this is the kind of person that doesn't really develop themselves. Like they think this is a a trait that they have is being attractive and bringing people in, but little do they understand that they will always kind of remain in a kind of page energy, especially for you, group number one. This may have just been someone that you didn't have a lot of designs on, but maybe this person, in many ways, you thought, maybe this could be something that's fun. Maybe this could be something that's just, here for the moment. But quite immediately, this person showed that they deal in third party situations, that they're always kind of looking for more and more energy. But there is something about you, group number one, that got in this person's head. I think I'm hearing from Spirit, it's especially around the way that you let them know that this was over. I think this person really was starting to fall for you too. I know that sounds weird because they were kind of third parting situation you, but there's something here. Spirit is showing a page of cups even, that they may have been starting to develop feelings for you. They may have been thinking in their mind, okay, I'm not going to sleep with my ex-partner anymore. And bam, you were like, that's it. You don't get another chance. And they were like, what? I mean, I just kind of feel, group number one, when you walk away, especially in this particular case, this person has not had anyone walk away from them in the way that you have. And I also feel like they didn't realize until you did walk away how much of a catch you were, how much of like, really you were wish fulfillment for anyone like them to even get close to. So in many ways, they felt you walk away with all of their potential. I mean, this is a kind of egoic thing because they really felt like, oh, a relationship with group number one would level me up. But no, I mean, quite literally, some of you could be a Cancer. This person could have been a fire sign. You could be a fire sign. Doesn't have to be. But all I'm saying is that I think when you walked away, this person suddenly was snapped into the reality of who they were with, who gave them a chance, who actually they had access to. Very interesting. What else happens when you walk away? Well, when you do walk away, this person is going to have to figure out new and different ways of making their looks work for them. Wow. For some of you, this person wanted to be with you because you had money. They pictured themselves being taken care of you. It's really interesting. The World card that I'm looking at has like an older woman and a younger boy, but I think that was really the essence of your relationship for some of you, like a adult child. This person wanted you to, for some people in group number one, this person wanted you to take care of them, maybe even financially, and now they're realizing that. And for some of you, Spirit is saying, because I was gonna say that they're having to do something with their looks to create money. But for some of them, even, they might have been outgrowing their looks even and realizing that they need to find a relationship quick. Oh, well. That's what you had to walk away from group number one. Nothing that you really needed to write home about. Probably something you didn't even want to be reminded about in this reading, but that's what came up. So that's what happens when you walk away, group number one, especially from, a dissatisfying relationship. Okay. So if you resonated with any or part of that message, could you consider giving me a thumbs up? It's just a way to help me grow this brand new channel, my honeys. And if you haven't subscribed yet, here's your official invitation. Please subscribe. And click that bell after you hit subscribe button so that you get notified when I upload new channeled messages and tarot readings. My honeys, I'm sorry you went through that kind of little, I don't know. We don't want to really call it a relationship, but that experience. But Spirit was saying, hopefully you got some pleasure out of it. But, in the end, you chose yourself. All right, my honeys. Hello, group number two. This is Kamara, the Black Dove Oracle. And this is your channeled message. What happens when you walk away? Group number one was very interesting. But Spirit told me to go to a different deck. So we will see, first of all, what you had to walk away from. And then we'll talk about what happens. Spirit is saying here, group number two, you may have had to walk away from a religious situation, a spiritual situation. Spirit is saying, because this group, it can interchange. Yeah, you may have had to walk away from some kind of leadership position in a spiritual organization, religious organization. It's going to interchange. And here's what I think is the difference. Religious organization may even point to like a church or some kind of religion that is pretty established, like, Buddhism or Christianity or Catholicism, like something like that. Whereas spirituality, it's a little bit broader, but it's still dealing with spirit, right? You could have walked away from a yoga organization. You could have walked away from a meditation retreat center. You could have walked away from a particular kind of teacher who had a following, hopefully not a cult, but you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. But Spirit is saying you had to walk away from some kind of spiritually oriented organization. Very interesting. It may have had to do with the idea that for some of you, this is very specific, that women could only go so far up in the food chain of that religion or organization, that women somehow experienced some kind of glass ceiling, or that women had to be a certain kind of way to be a leader in this organization. That's very specific, but that's what Spirit is saying you had to walk away from. You weren't going to be able to be your leadership self. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's saying Six of Swords. You really did have to leave. For some of you, it was under distress, meaning it was something that caught you off guard and that you were surprised it was going to happen. Maybe you saw yourself growing with this organization. You saw yourself, maybe in some cases, Spirit is showing me very dedicated to this organization, dedicated to its practices. For some of you, you may have even found a relationship within that community. What happened, Spirit? Yeah, you just weren't able to grow there. It was almost as if something happened and you immediately realized you had no future there, especially career-wise. You just immediately, it was almost like overnight. And please leave it in the comments if this resonates, but it was almost like overnight. You went from complete love, feeling like this was your place, your community, your practice, your relationship with God even, and then overnight something happened and suddenly that was just, it felt as if blinders got ripped off and you saw something for what it was. For some of you, there was some disillusionment about this organization, maybe its leader. A small group of you might have been romantically involved with a leader or a teacher of this spiritual, I don't know, organization, practice, religion. Take it where it resonates. So that's what you had to walk away from. Wow. Okay. So what happened? What is happening? What had happened? What happens when you have to walk away? Because group number 2, this sounds like it was a huge disappointment. Wow. When you had to walk away, you realized, and others did too, that you had some very close relationships in this organization. People you would never forget, people that you would never lose contact with. Yeah, a small group, but they really supported you, loved you. There was a lot of kindness there. What happens when you have to walk away? Well, for you, group number 2, this is going to be a lesson that you will take forward. It's a lesson that you will learn around certain decisions when it comes to people of your identity. Because I want to open it up, but if it was women, that's what it was. But, I think you are now with your blinders off. I think you're seeing everything for the truth now. Like you're kind of rerunning that movie. The movie where we all feel a little betrayed and we're rerunning the past. Like, what happened? Did I ignore something? Was I missing a red flag? I think you're in that period now. And what happens when you walk away? Wow. I don't think the people of that organization, the person you were maybe involved with, or anybody of that religion would think that you would act so quickly. But here's what's interesting. What happens when you walk away is that you take the knowledge with you. I see you on an eagle and you're riding with your sword held up high, Knight of Swords, and you're also carrying a book of knowledge, group number 2. I think what happens when you walk away is that you take all of what you've learned and you start a new thing. Wow. Wow. You're like, oh, heck no. Especially if it was like some kind of religious organization, you're like, this is not the teachings. Let me go and actually teach the teachings. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you have 6 of Swords that came up, and you also have 8 of Pentacles. Oh, for sure, group number 2, you are meant to leave wherever that was. Spirit is actually saying right now, channeled message, that um, you had to see that because that place could only take you that far. It could only take you so far. You are the one that's meant to take this practice, some people, the religion, the spirituality, to a different height. Because look, the Knight of Swords is on a huge bird, a huge eagle up in the sky, holding the sword being the knowledge, the wisdom, the intelligence. You are taking it to another level, group number 2. If you haven't thought about it, or you're still in some different timeline of it, guess what? This is about to happen. Some of you may be worried about kind of just like, what are you going to do next financially? But Spirit is saying 5 of Cups here. Spirit is saying, but this 5 of Cups is different from the normal one. It's like you are working under the crescent moon. You're doing your rituals. And even if you're not about rituals or working with the moon, this card shows that you are getting your power back. You're asking for Spirit to be a direct collaborator with you, group number 2. So when you walk away, what people don't realize is that you and Spirit become even tighter. You become a direct, even if you have always been, you become a direct collaborator with Spirit for your next level. And this next level means that you are going to have to learn how to communicate with Spirit to figure out your next actions. But right now, what's happening when you walk away is Spirit is telling you to hold tight. You've got the Hanged Man, and you also got Ace of Wands in reverse. So there's something here about you holding tight. You need to, there's something, why does group number 2 need to hold tight? Yeah, because this change, there's something about this change that still needs to happen. It has to do with the work that you've contributed. It has to do with, I think it has to do with this book of knowledge that your Knight of Swords is showing in their hands, under their arms. I think you need to get this book of knowledge. But let's go to another deck here. What happens when group number 2 walks away? Yeah, when you walk away, there's going to be a little bit of gossip here. I think this is what Spirit's alluding to. Yeah, you got the Fool card twice. One is in reverse and one's upright. There's going to be some talk. And Spirit wants you to hear that talk first before you decide on what direction you're going. Some of it may be really distressing to you, but Spirit wants you to see and witness who's doing the talking. You know, here's a message here, group number 2. Whatever you're getting ready to do, the next level, the way you're getting ready to elevate, you can't take certain people with you. And Spirit wants you to learn the lesson of also knowing who your enemies are. And we hate to think about that in a spiritual, religious organization, right? But we all have people who do not have our best interest at heart. And Spirit wants you to see who are those people, what's coming from their lips, what is it that they wish to pass on. And this way you will know, because your future is going to be one where you're going to need to know who to trust. And this is really quite literally what is happening as you walk away. You have, for many of you in group number 2, an extraordinary voice, one that captures the essence of Spirit. And Spirit is saying it's going to elevate you to high places, places where you will be extremely popular, extremely well known, and you are going to need true people around you. So Spirit is saying here, there's a bit of a strategy that has to happen, and it's purposeful. Because even if you look at your avatar for group number 2, you're on a stage. You really are. You're on a stage, group number 2. You are a star. Starting card didn't come up, but I think it's only because what you have to understand is even the stars have a process for getting up into the sky. Okay? So, group number 2, if you resonated with any or all of that channeled message, could you please give me a thumbs up? It's just a way to help me grow this brand new channel. I really appreciate your help. If you like the way that I channel messages and want to stick around for more, then please consider subscribing. If you click the bell, you get notified when I upload new readings. Group number 2, I really look forward to the work you're doing. I hope you'll leave it in the comments if it resonated. Thanks so much, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara, the Black Dove Oracle, and group number 3. This is your channeled message on what happens when you walk away. So group number 3, I was directed to the other love oracle in this pile of different decks. So I think your particular channeled message has to do around relationships. So let's see what happens. We're going to do kind of like what you had to leave, what you had to walk away from, and then we'll definitely talk about what happens when you walk away. So, wow. What you had to walk away from, group number 3, was being on standby with someone. Yeah. Being breadcrumbed, being on standby, being in an off and on kind of situation with someone saying in one kind of thought, they're saying, oh, I really love to see you smile, I really love when we talk, and then never hearing from them for a week or two. Someone saying, coming back and saying, I really wish I could be with you tonight, just out of the blue, even though they don't really want to explain where they've been or how this is a little bit of a back and forth. Spirit is basically saying, group number 3, you had to walk away from being on standby with someone. And this definitely gives the energy of breadcrumbing. Yeah. Love bombing. I'm even hearing from Spirit. Spirit is saying that this person just has some really destructive notions about romance and communication. And it's kind of interesting because this person claims to see all of who you are and maybe even says how valuable you are to them, but there's something in their actions that doesn't really add up for you. It didn't add up for you. Or, take it where it resonates on the timeline. Some of you are still pondering this. Others of you, this has already happened. But I think this particular connection, it really activated some inner child wounds for you, group number 3. It may have even activated just old feelings of abandonment, and maybe even caught yourself at some point trying to escape from just all the feelings that were there, maybe into habits you didn't even want to escape into. So Spirit is saying that you had to walk away from this because you really did feel misled from this person. So let's talk about what happens when you have to walk away, because you did have to walk away from this. It felt self-destructive. Wow. What happens when you walk away from this misalignment? You find alignment. You find a match. Wow. I think someone's surprised, group number 3, when you walked away from this. They didn't expect you so quickly to find another relationship, but you did. You found someone who is quite different from this upside down King of Wands. Someone who is a little bit more played with their passion, kind of was non-committal. You actually found someone that really aligns with you on such a deep soul level. So what happens when you walked away was your blessings came into focus. You were able to even get someone who was very supportive of you. Some of you may have been in some kind of uh, vulnerable financial situation, nothing super bad, but just something you didn't feel that great about. Maybe you were looking for a job, maybe other things. And I think this other past connection, the misaligned one, I think this person was very manipulative about like helping you. It was almost like the help from them was very conditional. It felt like even if they had the opportunity to kind of support you in a particular way, they were keeping tabs, I'm hearing from spirit. So when you walked away, I think it took you out of the isolation of that misaligned relationship, and it brought you into relationships, even friends. Because I think what happened is you met someone who was just so aligned with you, they just brought you into their community. So when you walked away, group number 1, you literally manifested a whole new community, in some cases, a whole new family of choice. And you realized when you walked away that you were never a prisoner of that past relationship. You didn't have to hang on to something like that, that actually you were able to cut yourself free symbolically and really develop a sense of courage, even though you didn't know what was going to happen. I think some of you had to leave this past situation that might have been in a haphazard way supporting you. Like maybe you were living with that person, maybe you weren't paying them as much rent as you could have. Like there was something there where you had to walk away and just trust that you were going to be put in the right situation. And I think with this Fool card, that's what's showing what happened. It's like you had to really walk out on faith. You had to trust spirit. Yeah. And you found a connection that really works for you. One that I think eventually will end up in some kind of permanent partnership. And I think people are like, wow, I mean, I don't think it was something that feels like it happened quickly or in a rebound kind of way. Group number 3, I just feel like you were blessed to meet someone and for them to say, listen, you don't need to run away from anything. If you need help, here's my community. Here I am. Very interesting. What happens when you walk away? I think it becomes very apparent to this person that you were misaligned with that you were always upfront with them. You were always very honest with them. And that honesty has afforded you huge blessings in Spirit's eyes. So you are reaping the rewards of being your true self, group number 3. Despite someone kind of using you, lying to you, manipulating you, you have the wheel of fortune and the world. You're starting a brand new cycle, group number 3. That's what happens when you walk away. More blessings, more support from spirit, because you're making choices for yourself. You're making choices that align with your purpose and your mission. And spirit's just like, let me give it to you. I think at some point maybe the person you were misaligned with in a previous relationship, they were just like, oh, well, you need to choose. If they were putting these weird choices up at front for you. And I think you had to say to yourself, I don't need to stay in this. I could find my own way, even though I think for many of you, it was a precarious situation, maybe outwardly, financially, or, like you didn't feel stable, but immediately it was one of those things, like immediately when you chose yourself, doors opened. Yeah. I keep seeing that you found new friends. I keep feeling like you're doing the things that you really like to do. And that quite literally is what happened when you walked away. You found your true life. Some of you may have moved somewhere with someone like in the misaligned energy, and then you realized, okay, I'm not finding a job here. I'm feeling financially vulnerable. And then this person started, just being really wishy-washy, putting breadcrumbing you, like not coming home. It was one of those things where you're just like, this is not the situation I was hoping for or signed up for. And I think you were in this brand new environment and you just had to trust that you would find the right way. And you did. So that might be specific, but I think that's what happened for someone. You found a new life. You started to trust your intuition when you walked away. And that intuition led you to many different options, group number 3. Some that now are just helping you realize that, life has a certain kind of justice when you honor yourself and you honor the things that you're about, you receive those blessings. So, yeah, group number 3, your life turned around when you walked away. So if you resonated with any or a part of this channeled message, could you please give me a thumbs up? It's just a way to help me grow this brand new channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your invitation to subscribe. If you click that bell, you get notified when I upload new channeled messages. If this is where we part, group number 3, congratulations on your new life. Wherever you are in the timeline, it's here or it might be coming, but it's definitely for you. Okay, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara, the Black Dove Oracle, and group number 4. This is your channeled message. What happens when you walk away? So group number 4, these have been powerful messages, and we're starting off with a deck that Spirit just kind of has me identify. We will talk about what you had to walk away from, and then we'll talk about what happens when you walk away. So, wow. Child Divine comes out. I think you had to walk away from a situation, group number 4, where you felt like you couldn't defend yourself, especially against some kind of negative energy. Yeah. I think you had to walk away from being dependent on some people. For a small group of you, these people had a lot of opinions about how you needed to live your life. This could be, for some of you, parents. For others of you, these were some people that you were kind of dependent on for your livelihood. Very interesting. Let's find out more about that. So group number 4, the situation you had to walk away from, it was one that you were supposed to be receiving help from, I'm hearing, but you weren't getting the kind of help you needed. The help that you were getting was keeping you maybe in your opinion, group number 4, in a dependent situation, like you couldn't do the work you wanted to do. I want to zoom out on this. You might have had to walk away from a particular job, but this job might have been training you to do something. You know how some jobs you have to go through some kind of apprenticeship situation before you can actually become licensed, or before you can, uh, be certified in that trade. And I think you had to walk away from something, group number 4, that it didn't feel good. It felt a little, I'm going to say, it felt very oppressive. It felt like these people were like my way or the highway. It felt like you may have been threatened to be thrown out of maybe a program, or there's something there that felt a little, or if not abusive, about this program. I keep hearing program, but maybe it was a workplace. And I think you had to decide at some point to confront this behavior, to confront how single-minded and selfish these people were. And you had to do this in a way where it really threatened your livelihood, but you had to do it. Spirit says one more card here. Yeah, you had to walk away. You have the wheel in reverse as well as the world in reverse. And in between there is the 3 of Pentacles. These people very well, Devil at the bottom of the deck. These people were very controlling. Almost to the fact where they were threatening to make sure you would not advance in your particular field, in the work you were doing, group number 4. Wow. I'm sorry you had to go through this, because the energy of it, I could feel it. It does not feel good. It feels very stressful, very abusive. So what happens when you walk away? What happened when you walked away? When you walked away, group number 4, I think you had a lot of kind of doubts about how you were going to make money. This is very specific, but for someone, you might have been pregnant, or you might have had a child. You might have been a single parent. But when you walked away, something started to miraculously happen, group number 4. You came into some kind of Empress energy. You took some action. You refused what they were giving, and you took some action. What action did you take, though, Spirit? You made a decision. You had to make a decision about your future here. And I think you started to realize, staying with this program or staying with these people, you were losing more than you were gaining. And you had to make a decision. The 2 of Swords is here, but in this card, she's wearing a blindfold, and she's like getting ready to shoot an arrow. It's like you had to point in the dark. You had to take a shot in the dark, group number 4. Something that, wow, what is this? Because Spirit says, when you took that shot in the dark, group number 4, or you will, timelines are different. When you chose yourself, you took a shot in the dark. You said, no, you know what? I'm going to find another way, or I'm going to do something different. Whatever you decided to do, it put you on the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. It quite literally put you in the Wheel of Fortune. It's something that you love, group number 4. It's something maybe, wow, hold on. Because Spirit is showing me when you walked away, it's something creative. I don't know what you planned on, what you were training with these people on. It could have been something creative too, but Spirit is saying it's different. Whatever you did, you went to a 3 of Pentacles here. You actually, it's something creative that you started to do that was catching people's attention. They're like, "Oh, hey, you do this?" Or, "I really like your work. I saw it on Instagram." Like whatever you started to do, more and more people wanted you to make something like this for them or do something like this for them. And I think in maybe in the beginning of all of this, you were still really upset about having to leave this program or this training. I mean, that may have put a few of you through the ringer. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It sounds like there was a lot emotionally. You had to make some decisions while being emotionally overwhelmed. But when you made this decision, when you took a shot in the dark, when you walked away and took a shot in the dark, group number 4, all your options came up. Because Spirit is saying when you walk away, group number 4, you get more options. Options drop out of the sky. When you walk away, some people feel like you'll be down forever, you're crying, you're depressed. No, when you walk away, Spirit lifts you up, gives you other opportunities. When you walk away, group number 4, there's something about your intuition that heightens. And that shot in the dark was not so much in the dark because you are the high priestess. You understand something about your life. And I think you had to in this whole interaction that your life is eternally blessed. Even when things feel like they may feel a little wobbly, you're like, okay, things are wobbly. And the next thing you know, an option happens, an opportunity happens. When you walk away, Spirit is saying here, Ace of Swords, you not only have the intuition, you have the intelligence to keep going. And that's something that a lot of people don't expect. Maybe you're a very sensitive person. I get that some of you might be a Cancer, you might be a Pisces. You don't have to be, but you might have been in that energy. And when you walk away, you have a lot of old friends and contacts, people who are really supportive of you. They never wanted to see you stay down. They were encouraging you. Well, you do this thing really well. I mean, have you ever thought of like providing that as a service or selling it? I mean, not people that were just going to strictly help you problem solve, but there was something there about people being really supportive of you, because that was a blow to have that training or program fail you and having to walk away. But guess what? You are becoming, or will, timelines are different, so abundant with this creativity that you are going to be able to be in the position to just give. You're going to be in a position to be very generous with what you achieve, group number 4. So when you walk away, literal blessings happen. They literally fall from the sky. I keep hearing that for you. They fall from the sky, and you will find a kind of like workplace. There's a lot of pentacles here for you, group number 4. You will find that your life is much happier. You're working with people who know how to juggle the work-life balance. You may vacation with them. You guys might like to go dancing. I'm just seeing that. And a lot of your life becomes more balanced. And I think in the end, what happens when you walk away is that you realize, group number 4, rejection, quite literally, was your protection. Okay? It really was. Anything else you want to say, Spirit? The bottom of the deck is a King of Cups. There may be two in all of this, a relationship. A secret admirer comes forward. I don't know why, that's just like a little part 2 to this. A secret admirer comes forward. Someone who, in many ways, you had to take this step to meet. Like, you wouldn't have met this person if you didn't take this step and walk away. There's something connected here. Like, some place you're going to end up being because you walked away. It has a butterfly effect on someone who will be a crush, who will find you extremely attractive. Group number 4, who's a very kind person. It's going to be an energy that you really welcome in because you've had to deal with some nasty stuff. Okay? So, group number 4, that's what happens when you walk away. New love, new career. Okay? If you resonated with any or all of that message, group number 4, could you please give me a thumbs up? It's just a way to help me grow this brand new channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe. Click the bell and you'll get notified when I upload brand new readings. If this is where we part, group number 4, congratulations. This sounds quite beautiful. Okay, my honeys, I will see you in future readings. Take care.